program with some purpose, right? So all of you have decided some goal that you want to achieve. Now, goals are short-term as well as long-term goals. Short-term goals are goals which you want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years. And long-term goals are the goals, what is that you want to be at a peak career stage. So to meet these goals, whether be it short-term or whether be it long-term, keeping that goal in mind, you have to always choose a particular direction. Because that direction will help you to reach that goal. It's like you want to travel to a particular destination. Destination is a goal and the route will help you reach that particular destination. So, in career management also, you are having a goal, and to reach that goal in your career, whether be it a short-term goal or whether be it long-term goal, you need to choose a particular direction. A course which will help you to achieve that end result, and that is called, which is course of different actions like education, work experience, skills being acquired. All these things help you to move into a particular direction and reach a particular goal. And when it comes to which direction, what kind of an education, what kind of a work experience, what kind of a skills that you should acquire depends on what is your goal. So all of you must have decided that you have chosen this management program with some goal, and the goal is you want to become managers, you want to start up your own enterprises, that is you want to become entrepreneurs, you want to become CEOs, you want to become vice presidents, presidents, and various things. So you have some goals that you have set up. And to make those goals successful, you have chosen a particular education. Why didn't you opt for any other education? You could have taken any other education, that is a Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering, or any other program, any master's program also. Why choose only an MBA program? You chose for only this particular program because you want to make your career in a particular field. So depending on the goal, you choose a particular career in a specific field, because that field will help you reach to that goal. When you choose a field, you choose the education in that field, the work experiences in that field, and the skills related to that field, so that your career can set a direction to reach to a particular goal. Now this is what a career means. But then this needs to be managed appropriately, because in the course of time, in the course of life, there could be a lot of hurdles, lot of constraints, lot of challenges, lot of restrictions that you may have to deal with, lot of uncertainties that you may have to deal with, and still move closer to your goal. And that's why it requires proper management. So when you choose a particular field where you want to make a career, keeping in mind your goal, you decide your actions, you decide the kind of work you should do, you decide the kind of skills you should develop. And as an individual, when you know that to reach this goal, these are the skills that are required, you start acquiring those skills. Because you know only these skills can help you reach that particular goal. Now this is individual career management. But when you join organizations, organization also has a defined structure. People working in the organization are working in a cycle. Nobody is joining an organization to stay with the organization lifelong. No jobs are permanent. Especially with the private sector today, more and more people entering into the private sector. Private sectors do not have permanent nature of job. That is, there is no job security in the private sector, especially in the private sector. So people, in order to progress in the career, keep moving from one job to other job because they have to reach a particular goal. And it is not necessary that only one particular job can help you reach that goal, or only one particular company can help you achieve that goal. You may have to change various jobs, you may have to change various companies when you want to reach a particular goal. So people keep moving in and out in career progression. So people, organization is working in a cycle. The recruitment is happening in a cycle. That is, people join the organization, climb up, move out, new people come at the bottom, climb up and move up. So this is the cycle that an organization functions. And the structure that is being defined for an organization decides what is the career path that an individual can take up when he joins the organization. If he's joining at the bottom, how will he climb at the top? Because joining happens always at the top and exit happens from the top. That's an ideal cycle of any organization's recruitment process. No doubt there are lateral hirings also, but this is a general cycle of recruitment. People join at the bottom, climb up, and then exit. So if this is the cycle, when people join at the bottom, every organization defines for each job how a person is going to climb at the top. And that is nothing but career management by organization. So it's not only that individuals need to manage the career, but organizations also have to manage the career. So if organization is defining a career path, a career ladder for a particular job, when a person joins that job, he can climb on this ladder. The climbing does not happen only based on the number of years that you spend in the organization. It depends on various factors. It depends on various criteria. It depends on criteria like your performance, your education, your skills, your competencies that you have acquired. All these matter for you to climb up the ladder. And in this process of climbing up the ladder, you should remember that every level that you move at the next level, or the upper level, the next level, always it demands for different skill sets, for different competencies. And those competencies you will have to acquire. Only then you will be suitable for that job. Only when you are performing well on the current job does not mean you're suitable for the next level of job. No doubt you're doing very good on the current job, but if you do not possess those competencies that are required on the next level of the job, you cannot be promoted to the next level. That's why you have to acquire skills to move up the ladder. So organization also supports the employees by designing a lot of career development programs which can help employees equip the skills and competencies that are required for the next level of the job. And then what is included in this career development program? Career development programs are nothing but training and development programs designed and developed in order to equip individuals with the new skills that are required for the next level of job. So now you can establish a link of how training and development is linked with career management. So as a part of career cycle, organization has to provide a training and development to employees in order to help them progress in the career. And that's why it is important to understand what career management is, how it has been done, what are the benefits, and what kind of a planning the organization as well as individuals need to do in order to manage our careers. So that's what we'll be seeing in the today's session of what career management is. So career development is important for companies to create and sustain a continuous learning environment. Today organizations are very agile. They have to be agile because of this competitive business environment, competitive nature of work. They have to be very flexible and adaptive to change. And in order to sustain in this kind of a continuous learning and learning environment, career management is very essential, because career management helps you to develop employees to meet the current requirements. The biggest challenge companies face is how to balance advancing current employee careers with simultaneously attracting and acquiring employees with new skills. The common thing that we find today is employees keep changing a lot of jobs. Why do they keep changing jobs? Like I just mentioned, in order to progress in their careers, they move from one job to other job, or from one company to other company. Because the jobs, the companies have to meet their expectations, they keep on changing it. And in this scenario, in this kind of an environment, people are very ambitious today. And they have higher career demands. So that has become very challenging for the companies to bring a balance in the employees' career needs, and attracting and acquiring employees with the new skills. Because people with the latest or the new skills whom you want in your organization also have certain type of career demands. So when organization is looking for such kind of people to join your organization, at the same time they want, employees want that the organization should meet their career needs. What are the career needs? Progression, growth, not only status growth, financial growth, identity growth, skill growth. So there are so many things that employees look for. So the challenge to the companies today is to bring a balance between what they require and what employees require. So the growing use of teams is influencing the concept of careers. For example, project careers. These days you can see that everything in the organization is being divided in the form of projects. So because of the influence of teamwork, project careers are taking attention. Based on the project, the people are hired, and people find their careers through the form. So that's why they are termed as project careers. Changes in the concept of career can affect employees' motivation to attend training programs. So since we have seen that there are a lot of changes that have happened in the concept of career from the employee perspective, and that depends on employees' motivation to attend the training programs. So how much an individual is motivated to attend the training programs? If they are highly motivated to attend different types of training programs, they are able to acquire different types of skills, multiple skills, develop their competencies, and get into different careers. The outcomes they expect to gain from attendance. So this concept also affects the concept of career, because the more they are attentive, the more they are present on the job, they want that the career concept should change. They are looking forward for some goal. Choice of their programs. What kind of programs, training and development programs that they choose, influences their concept of careers and how and what they need to do. If they're able to acquire whatever is required to progress in the careers, they will be able to develop the right concept of careers. Now let us define what is career management. Now we have just seen what career means and how it is essential for individual as well as the organization to manage the careers. Let's see how we can define it. Career management is the process through which employees become aware of their own interests, values, strengths and weaknesses. Remember, career management always begins by understanding what is required. Only when you know what is needed, you can choose the right direction. So career management is the process through which employees become aware of their own interests, values, strengths and weaknesses. Obtain information about job opportunities with the company. In order to, for a fresher who has just passed out from a program, if he knows what are his interests, what are his values, what are his strengths and weaknesses, he will be able to choose a proper career direction. And how does he begin to choose? All these things help him to obtain relevant information related to job opportunities that are available in the market. If he knows that his strength is in creating advertisements, he will look for opportunities in the advertising sector, in the advertising companies, because he knows that his interest is to make a career in advertising, to become a creative ad director. And to become a creative ad director, what does he need to choose? Can he take up job in sales? No. He has to choose a job which will help you to move into this particular direction. So he has to choose jobs in that particular sector. That's career management. Identify your career goals and redefine them and establish action plans to achieve career goals. Career goal is quite far, and if you have to start to reach that goal, you have to decide your actions. How will you reach that goal? What are the different things that you will have to do, and how can you reach that goal? So the process of executing all these tasks is called as career management. Now let us see what is the career management perspective from the different perspectives, from the company perspective, from the individual perspective, right? So we'll see what is the company perspective. From the company perspective, the failure to motivate employees to plan their careers can result in shortage of employees to fill up open positions, lower employee commitment, inappropriate use of money allocated for training and development programs. Now, from company perspective, employers are also responsible to make employees realize what are their interests, what are their goals, what are their strengths and weaknesses, what kind of jobs should they be looking for, what kind of jobs that they are good at, so that they can move into an appropriate direction. But if the company fails to do this, what is the impact? Cannot fulfill career goals until unless they join an organization. So organizations are also playing a very important role in fulfilling the individual career goals. So organizations are also responsible in order to manage individuals' careers, but with a company perspective. So what is the company perspective? If the company fails to motivate employees to plan for their careers, it can result into shortage of employees to fill up open positions. They will not be able to attract people with the right skills to work for their organization because they are not able to motivate people and make them realize that here is where their interest lies into. Until unless you make people realize that your interests can be fulfilled by your company, they will not apply for the job. Lower employee commitment. After joining, if they are not able to motivate them for career progression by equipping them with the right skills, that will lower the employee commitment. Inappropriate use of money allocated for training and development programs. Your organizations are investing millions of dollars in training and development. But if you're not able to motivate your employees to take up those training and development programs which can help them acquire these new skills, which can help them to do their current job as well as future job efficiently, the company perspective of managing the careers will fail. And that's why it's very essential for company also to understand that they have to motivate the employees to manage their careers appropriately. So let us see what is the individual perspective, that is the employee perspective. From the employee perspective, lack of career management can result in frustration. You have set up some career goals, but then if you have not chosen an appropriate direction to reach that career goal, it will result into frustration. So employees also need to plan their careers appropriately. If they are not able to plan their careers appropriately, not able to choose a particular direction properly, then it can result into frustration. That's why most of the people feel that this job is not made for me. I'm not fit for this job. I wanted to do this, but I ended up doing this, and I'm not happy doing this job. That you find is because of lack of career management. Feelings of not being valued by the company. Often you think you can do better, but the organization cannot offer what you want. And that's where you start feeling that the company does not value your work. And that is again a result of lack of career management. Being unable to find suitable employment should a job change be necessary due to mergers, acquisitions, restriction, or downsizing. There could be various reasons that may have resulted for lack of career management. It could have resulted because of mergers, acquisitions, restructuring, or downsizing of the organization, and because of which you have to find a suitable employment or change your jobs, and that leads to lack of career management. Like for example, there is a lot of recession in the economy. What does recession in the economy mean? There are no jobs available. Why jobs are not available? Because there is no business. And when there is no business, hiring is always closed. So in this case, you will have had a career goal. You want a particular job to reach to that career goal, but those kind of jobs are not available. So you end up doing some other jobs, and that leads to improper career management. So that is an employee perspective of lack of career management. To manage career effectively, one requires appropriate career motivation. Career motivation here refers to employees' energy to invest in their careers. What does this mean? Employees' energy to invest in their career. Invest in the career does not mean only financial investment. It is time, effort, and money. All these three things. Investment is not only financial. It's not always necessary, but your time and effort is if you want to successfully manage your career. So career motivation, the ability to manage your career begins with the right motivation. What is the right motivation? Does an employee have that energy to invest the right amount of time, right amount of effort into managing his career? Because nobody else can manage career for you. It is you yourself have to manage it. So their awareness of the direction they want their careers to take. How much are they aware about which direction will help them to reach the career goals that they have set for themselves? How much knowledge have they acquired to reach particular career goals. Not every, if you want to reach a destination, can every path that you choose can help you reach the destination? No, there will be limited paths always to reach that destination. And again, it depends on, even if there are multiple paths, you have to choose which is the shortest path. Because it's always ideal how you should reach your career goals as soon as possible so that you can set new goals. Always, to achieve the goals, you should have a timeline. Goals cannot be achieved endlessly. Now, I have this goal. I want to become an entrepreneur. So your goal should be time bound. You cannot say that I'll become an entrepreneur at least once in my lifetime. It means till you are alive, are you going to just try to become an entrepreneur and not become an entrepreneur? No. When you set a goal that you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to set up your own enterprise, you have to set a timeline. 10 years down the line, I want to have my own enterprise. I want to set up an organization with at least 100 employees. So what I've done, I've set a goal and I've set a timeline. And when you set a timeline, it becomes important to choose the right path. So to become an entrepreneur, there could be 3 ways. But which is the way which can help me reduce that timeline? It's like you want to reach a particular destination. You want to reach Bangalore. There are 2 roads which go to Bangalore, but you have to choose which road, the longest one or the shortest. No doubt you have to consider the hurdles, challenges of both the roads, but at the same time, keeping in mind the safety, you should always see to it the road which helps you to reduce the timeline. The ability to maintain energy and direction despite barriers they may encounter. Remember one thing very particularly, that when you're moving in any direction, you're going to find a lot of challenges, a lot of constraints, a lot of hurdles. You're going to find a lot of barriers. You're going to fall short of energy dealing with those barriers. But if you give up, you will never be able to reach your goal. So what is that? You need to have the ability to maintain the energy despite all the barriers and keep moving in the direction so that you can achieve that goal. It's like when a student passes out from the program from any kind of a course and is looking for the job. There are various pressures because of which you take up jobs. No doubt you have set a goal, the goal that you want to achieve. But then remember, your first job is not always the right job. You may also get, you may not get. But because you did not get the right job, if you stop trying to get the right job, you will never be able to reach the goal. So, you should take up a job, also at that time realize and find out whether this is the right job, and if it's not the right job, keep trying till you get the right job so that you can reach it. If you give up, then you can never reach the goal, and for that you require a lot of career. So career motivation has 3 aspects: career resilience, career insight, and career identity. Now let's see one by one what all of these mean. What do you mean by career resilience? Career resilience is the extent to which employees are able to deal with problems that affect their work. Career resilience is the ability to hold with a particular work in spite of problems and cope up with those problems. If you've taken up a job, you realize that you do not have the skills that are required to do that job effectively. There are problems that you're facing. If you give up on those problems, you will never be able to do that task. But if you really find out where are you lacking, what is the skill required to do this job effectively, and then find out if you have that skill. If you don't have, develop that skill and then do that work, you are being career resilient. because you're developing your ability to cope up with their problem by identifying what is the problem and how the problem, and that is a very, very essential aspect of career motivation. So career motivation can be seen through careers. If employees are resilient, you can find that they have higher motivation. Career insight, having appropriate career insight. How much employees know about their interests, skills, strengths and weaknesses. Career motivation is high when you know yourself. Career insight is very, very essential. Knowing about your own self. Nobody will come and tell you that this career is right or this career is good for you. People may guide you. People may counsel you. But ultimately, it is you who have to decide what is good for you. So you require a lot of career insight. So what is that career insight? How much employees know about their interests? Do you know what are you interested in? Because if somebody comes and tell you that you should do this, probably you may not be interested and that's the reason you may not do very well. So if you want to excel, you should know your interest and then aspire to work in your interest. Skills. You have a career goal, but do you have an insight, a realization that the goal, to reach this goal, these are the skill sets that are required and these are the skill sets that I have. Is there a balance? What is required and what do I have? If you know what is required and what do I have, you can always cope up to bring a balance. You can always acquire skills based on strengths and weaknesses. How much are you aware about your own strengths? Generally, people are all aware about their strengths. But rarely people are aware about their weaknesses, or even if they are aware, they are afraid of committing their weakness. Having a weakness is not wrong. But not knowing that you have a weakness is wrong. Because when you're not aware that you have certain weaknesses, you can never overcome them. A person who is self-aware of his own weaknesses can always find out a way to overcome those weaknesses. And that's why it's very important for an employee to have these insights. Only then they will be able to have the right career motivation. The awareness of how their perceptions relate to their career goals. What kind of career perceptions do you have? And how can you relate it to your career goals? So whether you have a negative perception or a positive perception, and what is the impact of these perceptions on your career goals? A career insight. If you have an appropriate career insight, you will be motivated to have a proper career, and that is essential for appropriate career management. Career identity. The degree to which employees define their personal values according to their work. What kind of identity do you relate? How do you see your own career goals? Are you able to relate yourself to a particular? If you have proper career identity, when you are able to relate your personal values and the work that you do, you can manage your careers. That is the third motivation that can help you to manage career effectively. So all these three things are very, very essential for an individual, from an employee perspective, for an employee to effectively manage career, which is career motivation, which is very essential for proper career management. Now you can see here the components of career motivation: career resilience, insight, and career identity. Career resilience, you can receive it based on the company value. What is career resilience that we have discussed? How much you are able to cope up with the problems. Your ability to cope up with the problems and get along with the work. So innovation, employees adapting to unexpected changes, commitment to the company, pride in work can help you develop, the career resilience. And career insight and career identity is employee value that you create. What is that? Being aware of your skill, strengths and weaknesses, participating in the learning activities that are being given or organized by the organization, cope with less than ideal work conditions, and avoid skill obsolescence. So this is the employee value that can help you develop appropriate career insight and career identity. When you are aware of yourself, your own strengths and weaknesses, you can always develop and then overcome them. Participate in learning activities because you know how you are going to grow. Cope up with less than ideal conditions. You will not always look for the best work environment where you can always excel. You will learn to adjust, accommodate with all unexpected constraints, barriers that come across your way, and you will be patient enough to deal with them and reach your career goal. And then avoiding skill obsolescence. Skill obsolescence is very common. With such kind of a dynamic work environment, the skills keep on changing every now and then, and that's why an employee who is well aware about his skill obsolescence will always keep himself updated, and that will help him to develop career insight and career identity, which is helping an individual, an employee, to be career motivated. And if you're career motivated, then you can have proper career management. So like in the initial class, in the beginning of the class, we just defined career. Now let's see how you can define career more precisely by looking into the different definitions. Traditionally, a career is a sequence of position held with an occupation. Sequence of positions. That's why I said, when you set up a goal, career means choosing a particular direction, work, education, skills, to reach that goal. So sequence of jobs, sequence of positions within a particular defined field is called as career. Context of mobility is within the organization. Earlier in traditional careers, the context of mobility is within organization, because if we go back, if we look at our parent generation, in their generation, once they joined an organization, they always retired with the same organization. Job hopping was rarely seen in that generation. So, traditionally, careers is defined as the context of mobility within one organization and the characteristics of an employee. What are the skills that he has? But today, the whole context has changed. The environment has changed, and that's the reason the definition of what means a career also has changed, and what we refer to the new definition of a career is called as a protein career. Now what is that protein career? Protein career means frequently changing based on changes in the person and changes in the work environment, and that's why today you find a lot of job hopping. That's why I gave an example of our parent generation, because in their generation, once they joined an organization, they retired with the same organization. But look at us today. We keep changing jobs for every 3 to 5 years. Why? Because we are looking forward for career progression. And what does that mean? Why are we changing? We are changing because of the changing perspective, changing needs, changing demands. And if this kind of change needs to happen, then where is job security? There is no job security. Employees take major responsibility of managing their own careers. In traditional career, organizations manage the employee's career, but today employees take the responsibility of managing their own careers. No doubt companies, organizations all around to manage their by taking up responsibility and based on self-direction with the goal of psychological success in one's work. So, always they try to self-direct themselves. So today, there is no job security, But what employees are trying to do is bring in career security. And that is nothing but protein career. And what is protein? It gives you energy. It gives you strength to manage your body activities. So to manage your career, you need protein. And what is that protein? How that protein can come? The protein can be brought to career security. And what is that career security? Career security here means acquiring skills that can help you anchor with any type of job in any organization. Because there is no one job and one organization today. People are changing jobs, people are changing organizations, and if you want to keep these changes happening continuously, you have to see to it that you have the skills that organizations require so that you will be able to get jobs in any organization. And that's how you can bring in career security, and the skills and competencies that you acquire for different types of jobs acts as your protein to get into any job in any organization. So that's why today we refer it to as protein careers. That's the difference between a traditional career and a protein career. Now, we'll quickly see how you can compare a traditional career and a protein career on the different dimensions of goal, psychological contract, mobility, responsibility, pattern, expertise, and development. On the dimension goal, the traditional career has promotions and defined salary increases. But in protein career, you will find that there is psychological success. Psychological success here means you set your career goals and you are able to achieve. So you will be happy psychologically that you have been able to achieve it, and not based on the organization's promotion. Because promotions are always limited. There may be 10 people who are eligible to become managers, but there can be only one manager in the organization. So organization will choose the best among the 10, and only one person gets the opportunity to become the manager. What about the rest of the 9? They do not have any. That's because they do not have promotion. But psychological success is not depending on promotion. It is depending on your achievement to success. Psychological contract in traditional career is security for commitment, and in protein career is employability for flexibility. That's why I said job security and career security. Job security is security which you get because of commitment to an organization, but career security is security that you get because you have flexibility to work with different organizations, because you have the competencies that you can work with different organizations. Vertical, whereas in protein career it can also be lateral. Responsibility for management, in traditional career it's only to company. In protein career, the responsibility of career management is on employee. Pattern here in traditional career is linear and expert, whereas in protein career it is spiral and transitory. Spiral, it keeps rotating. Transitory, it keeps changing. It's not only linear, one way. Expertise in traditional career is based on know how to do, whereas in protein career it is learn how to. So you always acquire the new. And development in traditional career is heavy reliance on formal training, whereas in protein career greater reliance on relationships and job experience. So that's how you can differentiate these two concepts. So today we'll stop here, and the rest of the concepts of career management we'll take it up in the next class. Thank you.